Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, February the 24th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and from Walmal's. Walmal, we got news coming out. So, I guess
Yes.
we're going to possibly put some trades on for the traders here.
Yep. We'll see what happens. We got what, basically 1 minute till the news drop, and we'll see what happens. It's red news. It's the core PCE price index, so that usually does move the market a little bit. Not like NFP, but it does move the market. So we'll see what it does.
Yeah, so I'm looking maybe if it drops below 1960 and then comes back up, maybe going long there. Also anticipating 1914, which are some lows on the H4 chart. Then again, if it goes to the upside, probably maybe looking at a long around 20, probably just right at the double O. Just go long,
Right.
and we'll just
Yeah,
have to wait and see how
wait and
price
see.
responds.
Yeah, it's sitting here this is part of our life as traders, right? Sitting around and waiting.
Exactly. Here we go. The news is
There it
coming
goes.
out. Okay, it broke the previous low. There we go, below the 60. Ooh, wow. If we could have gotten that trade, that would have been nice. But you have to be quick. And so that's, by having those numbers ahead of time, you know where to get in. Sometimes you could put pending orders. Sounds like you made a trade there, Walmall.
I went long, and I'm out. I picked up 28 pips.
Nice. Where'd you go long?
Not bad. I went long when it hit 56.
Okay, because it looks like it's going down from here.
Yep. And I just picked up another when it broke 70 coming back down. I
Hmm.
just picked up another 10 pips, and I'm out clear now.
Nice.
But that's just how quick it can be,
Right.
you know. By the way, traders, that dinging you heard in the background was just my indicator indicating that, hey, I'm coming close to my TP, so I need to go and sit at my computer if I happen to walk away.
Hmm. Okay, so there's
But,
that six. Actually, it actually went down to the launch pad, so there's a 40 to 60 move right
yep,
there.
yeah.
And once
And it's
again,
interesting, you did call out that 55, and it hit the 55, and then it ran all the way back up to the 80, and then it ran all the way back down again, and then this time it penetrated down to about 45 or so. But, those numbers have some significance. They create bounds that people don't like to go over. The market may push it over a little bit just because of momentum, but, generally speaking, people don't like to go over those numbers.
right. And so right now for the daily range, I believe we're sitting at 96.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 97, but we're on two different brokers. But yeah, but you know, prior to that, we were still in the 60s or pretty close to it. So,
Right.
but now I'm sitting here. I've got my initial move of picking up those pips. Now my thing is I got to sit here and wait. I got to wait for this thing to calm down. Because right now if you notice, it's just jumping up and down, back and forth, and it would be like playing a pinball machine. You just can't, oh yeah, I got 5 pips, jump out, bam, oh, you lost 5 pips.
Yeah.
And for me anyway, I gotta go. Now I know that you sometimes like to go and play that even when it's doing this, but I generally want to wait 2, 3, maybe even 5 minutes, just for it to settle down a little bit, and see if it just moved down, if it's confirmed to move down, or if it's just gut reaction, and wipe out a bunch of stops by either institutional guys or whatever, and now we're going to go move the other direction, because a lot of times that's what happens is you'll get that huge move down. Think about it, we moved down basically from 80 down to, to 50, so move down basically, 30 pips, and, now did they move it down that far and that fast because they were just wiping stops out, or did they move it down that far because that's generally the direction that it's going to go, and only time's going to tell. We don't know. And so, if you're a swing trader right now, stay clear, because you don't know what direction. Nobody knows the direction it's going to go in right now. Now, if you're sitting there putting stops on of 100 pips or something like that because you're a fundamental trader, well, that's okay. You make your best guess based on the news.
And there's one thing to think about. We talk about pips, 100 pips, but if you think about it, that's 1 cent. So,
right.
If you're some big guy, if the price is 119 versus 120, that's only a penny to you. And we're just kind of playing in between the pennies.
Right. But at the same time, if you're a huge bank and you're trying to go and pay out payroll for somebody in a different country, and you got to, let's say, convert U.S. dollars to pounds, that penny can make a difference if you've got a payroll of a $50 million payroll.
That's
and
right.
It's paid every week.
Yes.
That's where it adds up. Just so folks know what the news was, it actually came in slightly better. They were expecting 0.4% increase, and they got a 0.6% increase, so that's slightly better. And the bad news that came in was personal income went from 1% down to 0.6%. It's still a good number going, because it's going in the right direction, but it's it's still not what they expected. And it's actually a good number in the sense that also it matched what inflation is. So when income matches inflation, the Fed likes that. And so for the general economy, it's usually pretty good.
Right. Now, a lot of times people like to talk about price action. And so, defining price action is, you look at a candle, it's either going to break out of the previous candle's high or the previous candle's low, or it'll do both, or it'll do neither. And if it does neither, you get an inside bar, and I have these aqua lines here to show these inside bars. And then if it's an outside bar, it has the magenta. And I use the in and out indicator, and that's one I didn't write. And in fact, I don't even think I modified it. It's just, hey, it works. I didn't have to mess with it at all.
Right. Yeah, we've had, a couple candles ago, we had an inside bar, and now it's breaking the bottom of that inside bar. Now, the previous candle broke it on the top side. Now we're broken on the bottom side.
Yeah, and remember, I think I called out the 60 for the long trigger, and so you could have taken that 60 trade a couple of times and picked up some pips there.
Yep. And so right now I'm starting to think about, okay, possibility of the trade coming on, but I don't have it yet. I don't have a trigger yet. Just got a trigger to go short, but I'm holding off a second or two to see what happens.
Well, it's either going to break the current day's low at 45 and head down to that 19 number, and and I get these numbers. I look at H4, and there was this area right here, and then this is the imbalance, and then this is the open of that turn trade. And so you can see it's come down, it's filled that imbalance. So I would say from here, even though everything is red pretty much, I'd be looking for longs.
Yeah, I went short because I'm just taking a chance and just playing it. We'll see what happens,
Are you still short or are you out?
I'm still short right now.
Because a lot of times on these big bars, for example, here on this M30, see, we're 21 pips below indicator 2, which is the EMA 5. And the only reason I called it indicator 2, It's because on most moving averages, it's just one color. But so the feature is if the close is below it, it's magenta. If the close is above it, it's aqua. And you just kind of know you don't trade against the dots usually, unless it comes, 18 or more. And then I just learned to kind of sit on my hands, because when you look back, you can see these big bars, and you can always see the next bar usually gets down in that lower wick zone and then returns. And it's better to let this candle close, because sometimes the last...
I just hit my that ding was I just hit my profit target.
Nice.
So I was able to pick up on that trade. I was able to go and pick up 8 pips.
Nice.
So anyway, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, that's okay. So right here, once again, I'd be looking to maybe start to think about longs, but I'm just going to wait for this candle to close, because they could push it down even further. And like I said, the other target would be
I agree that
about 41, which is into the launch pad.
Yeah, I agree with you that I think this thing's going to come back up, but right now I'm not so sure whether or not it's done with the downward movement yet.
Right.
And part of it is, if you look, you get that huge candle going down. I'm just going to talk about candle matching right now. You see that big candle down, and then you see that
which time frame?
Now, 1 minute.
Oh, okay, I'll put it back on. Yeah.
The initial candle that drove everything down, and then we just had a struggle going back up. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go down. We go down, we go down, and it's sort of like that tells me that there's still people down here around this 50, 51, 53, wherever we're at right now. They still want to go and push this down. The buyers haven't been able to come in and bring it back yet, because when I brought it back to the midpoint, to that big push down, it was rejected, and so that just tells me that market hasn't made a decision in a direction. So that's why you got to make a decision. I took that trade knowing that it hadn't been done, and so I took it kind of in the middle, and basically said, okay, if it goes in the middle, if it goes against me, I'm only going to go, it's not going to go that far against me. But if it goes with my direction, and I can pick up, I was looking to pick up 5 tips. I got lucky and got 8, and that's how I played that. Now, like I said, if you're just looking for, you're trying to pick up that 10, 20, 30 pip move, I don't think we're in a position yet to go and pull off a rat trade right now, because obviously we're in the rat zone right now, but I don't think we're necessarily in a place where you would want to take that rat trade right now.
No, not yet. No, like I said, I'm gonna wait till the for this M30 candle to close, because when I look at the stats, it's pretty nice. It's 41 pip range. We're 21 pips below indicator 2, and that's usually price is going to come back and touch, because you can see here when price moves away from indicator 2, and then you go 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, and then the 4th bar it came back and touched. So you just wait for those bars to close, and then you can basically just trade right out of the previous M30 wick zones, and usually you can pick up some, a few pips. And if price runs, then you're in it.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about it. You're in it, and you can be in it for the majority of the run, which is nice.
Yeah, and looks like we're going back into the launch pad. So, fellow traders, I hope you learned something from watching those trades there. One thing is, you have to have a plan, and you notice I called out levels I was looking for before the trade happened. So that way, when the trades happen, I just know what to do at those levels, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.